So I've been reading over all the new initiatives the government's announced in the last couple of days about how they're helping businesses, small businesses, hospitality businesses in particular, of course. And I think on the whole, it is a really, really positive step in the right direction and some good news at a time when we're not getting an awful lot of good news. I think there's a really legitimate concern about the fact that a bulk of this package is to do with loans rather than grants. And I do think that is concerning. A lot of these businesses work on a cash basis. They do not have reserves. They do not necessarily have sure source of revenue in coming months, and maybe not for a while. Throwing debt at businesses like this is like throwing water into a bucket with holes in it, which without actually plugging the holes in that bucket. So I think that really needs to be addressed. But things like increasing from £3,000 to £10,000 the business interruption relief, I think that's great. £25,000 for the pubs and restaurants that would qualify for it. I think that is also great. The measures the government is doing to help employers with employees who are absent because of isolating. I think this is all steps in the right direction, but I would really appreciate from the government some clarification or some additional measures, something said about the supply chain to the hospitality industry that's suffering right now, because it's the supply chain that sits in the background. We all know about and care about the pub at the end of the road, the cafe we go to every day, the wine shop in the center of town, which we love to visit, and we can feel those. They have people, they have real people in the community. It's visible. What is invisible is the supply chain behind that, whether that's a wine importer like us, fruit and vegetable suppliers, meat suppliers, cheese suppliers, whatever it is. Those businesses that you see rely on businesses like ours that you don't see. And they have employees who have families, who have obligations as well. And so what I really want to see the government do is clarify to what extent the support that is being offered to hospitality businesses is also being offered to the supply chain to hospitality businesses. Because in normal times, I would not consider us a hospitality business, but we are tied up in supplying hospitality businesses. Over 90% of our revenue comes from supplying hospitality businesses. About 2/3 of our business is with restaurants, on-trade suppliers who are being most affected by this right now. So something really needs to be done to address the fact that a big section of hospitality is maybe not being addressed right now. And I'm not getting the clarification that I think the industry needs, because even in good times, it's the supply chain that tends to take on the greatest risk on behalf of the hospitality industry.